a good question as well. Rug says, does it matter much for SEO if our silos are split up? For example, if our existing 5 main location-based services like rug cleaning are under the menu services, the other city location-based service pages are under blog. For example, services/service 1 main location and blog/service 1 location 2, 3, and 4. Just making what I have found through the last several months of testing and focusing a lot more on organic ranking for local stuff than what I have over the past several years. All I cared about for years was maps ranking. I could care less about organic rankings. I didn't care. That wasn't something that I focused on. The last several months, I've been focusing a lot more on organic stuff. I can tell you when it comes to local, keep your site structure simple. Right? You want to keep it as simple as possible. Number one, it's just easier to manage. Number two, they tend to perform better. The more complex you make a local site, I think the harder it is to rank. And I mean that. I've got some that I've done that in the last 2 or 3 years that the structure was way overcomplicated and it never performed as well as I had intended or hoped that it would, excuse me. And so I've got a couple projects that are multi-location projects that I have started. One of them I completely redesigned the structure of entirely, and it is starting to perform so much better. And I've got another one that I've got to redo the structure on as well. So no, I would recommend trying to keep it as simple as possible. I can't really give you the silo structure here in this setting, but I do talk about it in the mastermind often, especially because I've got some crazy good results coming from the restructuring and making stuff a lot simpler. So I would not, what I try to encourage people to do is try to keep your silo structure as simple as possible. I like to have topical silos and then location silos, and I try to keep it just like that. And so there's a number of ways to do it. I've talked about using tags in the past, how you can create location silos, but you can overcomplicate that very, very quickly as well. So if you're going to use tags as opposed to categories for either topical silos or for location-based silos, you want to try to keep that simple too. Because remember, guys, the more you, like, for example, the more tags that you add to a post or a page, you can add tags to pages with plugins like tag pages and things like that. The more you kind of dilute the link equity for that page, right? Because it splits out through all those different tags on that page to each individual tag page. So again, you can overcomplicate stuff and really fuck up or annihilate your internal link juice, right? And how you kind of want stuff to flow throughout the site. And so if you keep it a lot simpler, your internal linking structure simpler, which means a simpler site architecture altogether, then you can direct the link equity where you want it to go. And so again, one last thing, I know there's a process doc that we have for this that's going to give you some insight on that. Let me see. I think, Marco, do you know the link of that? I think it's mgyb.co/process, isn't it?
Yeah. Process.
Right. Okay. You want to comment on that while I get him the link?
Yeah, this has to do with the distance graph. Google is measuring the hops from trust and authority. And so your page, your website also has a hierarchy where your home page is expected to be the more powerful, because that's what most people are going to link to naturally. So unless you're building links to your category page to make that just as important as your home page, you're going to lose power. And if from that category you're then going to a location, and you're then going to a service, and you're then going, so you're doing all of these hops away from the market level category, which is where you're going to do most of your link building and where most others are going to link to, then it's the distance graph that takes over, is the hops away that you are, or the links away that you are from the most powerful page on your website, or what should be the most powerful page on your silo. When you're building all this out, you have to keep that in mind. You don't want to be out 5 hops from your category, because then you're killing the power flow and you have to make up for it every step of the way. I'm not going to say why, I'm not going to say how, but unless you make up for it, then you're going to see problems, just like Bradley said. Unless you keep it simple, keep it as simple as possible, or make sure that you're making up for all of the power loss that you're going to incur as you hop away. So as you add links in between your category page, your most important page, and the pages that you add to that silo, however it is that you do it, and then the supporting pages that you add to the silo. So it can get really complex, really intricate, and you
Yeah.
can get lost really quick if you overcomplicate things.
Yeah, keep it simple. I mean, I'm not kidding. For location, even multi-location sites, like the one that I spent the last 2 months restructuring, redoing all the internal links, everything, and I just finished it like within the past week. No shit, and like it's doing so much better. It's crazy. And it's a very simple structure now. So it's a flat site. I mean, there is categories. So I'm adding supporting articles now to some of the categories, but even the tag silos for location stuff that I've done is simplified now to where it's just one tag for each location, and that's it. And again, I can't talk about that here, but I do in the mastermind. I've even shared that particular site. So if you're interested in that, come join.
Yeah.